Very good evening to everyone, and welcome to this next live stream, our first live stream on a Wednesday evening for about 9 months. This is Christopher Dygan coming to you from my home. This is Piano Hour on Wednesday, the 18th of September. And this is another in our productions, offering you the opportunity to join us on the live stream platform for a music selection from around the world. You're here this evening. I'm accompanied by, I don't know if you can hear us through this microphone, a rather vocal bullfrog, which has once again positioned itself outside my door right next to the swimming pool. So it's very close to the house. It's probably, you might hear it here or there through the evening, but that's just part of the nature of doing a live stream at home. I hope you're going to join us for the next hour. I'm here with Leon Loubser once again, and we have a wonderful selection of music for you. I'm going to be telling you a little bit about the program and also about the new developments if you haven't joined us already. For the new selection of music and the new live stream series, which I started last Saturday, I played a classical program. I also recorded a behind the scenes session, which is now, the link has been sent out. If you're on our mailing list, you will have received a link to that, and that gives you some in-depth discussion about the pieces that I played on that last Saturday session. And then this Wednesday session is going to be coming to you live. For this month, they are still free. In October, we are then gating them so that you will have to be a subscribing member at 200 Rand a month to receive access to these streams, which are, some will be live and some will be recorded. There'll be 3 sessions: the Wednesday session, the Saturday session, and the Behind the Music session, which relates to the Saturday session as well. And I hope I get enough people to support me in that so that we can continue. So I'm going to dive straight into the music this evening. I'm going to start off with music by Scott Joplin, by Ernesto Nazareth, one of the favorite pieces that I played so many times on this Wednesday program. It was the theme tune for a program. I've always talked about this. I recognized it from very young childhood days. It was on a Saturday morning Springbok radio program where this piece by Ernesto Nazareth called Gold Over Blue was used. Straight after that, I'll be playing a little intermezzo by the Mexican composer Manuel Ponce. And then to end off a selection of 3, a wonderful selection by Scott Joplin. Something a little bit different, a little bit more relaxed, not as very up-tempo ragtimes, but Solace, a Mexican serenade, which has this beautiful habanero lilt to it.
rather loud.
three pieces there to start this evening's program of Piano Hour. I started off with Ernesto Nazareth and his Gold Over Blue, followed by the Intermezzo from Manuel Ponce, the Mexican composer, and then ending off with the beautiful Solace, a Mexican serenade by Scott Joplin, not his jaunty ragtimes at all, but something a little bit softer and a little bit more neutral. I am going to move on to pieces of music. So for many of you, I'm sure you know, I've talked about this on several occasions, that the delay or the break that I've had away from the concertizing and away from the live streams was due to the injury of my finger, which I cut very badly in December. Seem to be repeating myself a lot. But anyway, during this time, after my finger did recover, I decided to take off a few months from concerts and from the live streams. And as I said the other night, I've forgotten how stressful the live streams really are. It's really been quite a reminder that setup and all the technical make do behind the scenes to make sure all happens on time and it goes out correctly. And during the period beginning of the year, I was working quite extensively on just revising some basic technical musical things, kind of going back to basics and going back to school, you might say. And one of the parts of this was playing a number of Bach preludes and fugues. And so I'd like to play some of these pieces for you tonight, not the fugues, but just the preludes. Normally, it's very customary to play a prelude and a fugue. They do belong together. But the fugues are a little bit complicated, and I quite like the preludes just on their own. So I'm going to play for you 4 preludes from Book 1 in C major, which you know very well, in C minor, then followed by C sharp major, and in D major. These are very beautiful pieces, and I think have wonderfully exciting and brilliant Bach textural and improvisational qualities to them. Leon, just one thing, Leon. Just to check the sound is coming through. It's camera 3. Yeah, okay, link to that. So suddenly I saw this on my monitor up there. rather mellifluous tones there of Debussy's Arabesque, number 1. Beautiful piece of music accompanied by those rather frantic bullfrogs outside. And before that, I forgot to introduce those 2 pieces after. Before that, one of my own compositions, an oldish piece that I recently revised and rediscovered and thought, well, it would be quite a nice different addition to these programs. The creation and composition of my own music and recording, and also the publication of these pieces, is something that I'm going to be pursuing quite extensively in the next couple of weeks and months. It's hopefully a project that I'm going to be able to bring to life and bring to fruition in quite a substantial way. So the last section of this evening's program, I'm going to play 3 quite vigorous and quite intensely brilliant pieces of music. First of which, the great rustle of spring again. The springtime, this beautiful rain that we're having, and the heat, the very hot days and cold days, the dryness which is sort of disappearing out of the garden thanks to the persistent rains. It's just amazing how the garden is springing to life. I've been obviously observing and taking a greater interest in the garden now in the last year, and this change of season has been quite miraculous to see how it has transformed in just a day or 2. Things have transformed rather radically. And so the rustle of spring embodies that idea of rebirth, that great energy, that bristling energy and triumphant, almost resplendent presence of nature and the rebirth coming forward into the new season. Straight after that, I'm going to play 2 preludes by Sergei Rachmaninoff, very vigorous and exciting militaristic Russian pride element in the prelude in G minor. And then to end off the program, a very strong and a very flowing prelude in B-flat major, which has an energy of a great Russian river in full flow, a torrent, really a great energy. Leon's going to have to adjust the microphone volume on these pieces because they are very big indeed. So this is Christian Sinding's Rustle of Spring and 2 Rachmaninoff preludes. sort those bullfrogs out. A little bit of competition there from Rachmaninoff, the great prelude in B flat, and before that a Rachmaninoff prelude in G minor. And I started that 3-play with Sinding's Rustle of Spring. That brings us to the end of this evening's first piano hour in 9 months. I hope you've enjoyed the selection of music. It's lovely to be back. Thank you once again to Leon on the controls for being here. And we will be scheduling these dates well in advance. There'll be one in-concert session on Saturday, one piano hour session on Wednesday, and those who subscribe will have access to this and also get the pre-recorded version of Behind the Scenes, where I'll be discussing and detailing what goes on in the Saturday program. So there'll be a much more in-depth selection. For those of you who've just joined us, that first session is available. It went out on my mailing list today. So everyone who is on my mailing list would have received a link to that particular session, Behind the Music, which is available on YouTube. But only if you have the link, only if you're a subscriber to my mailing list. If you're not, please email me or message me and I will send you the link or make it available on my website shortly. It's been lovely. It's lovely to be back. The orchids are flowering. It's spring. There's new beginnings. There's new starts. And all sorts of new exciting developments. If, of course, you are able to support me now, it is a compulsory 200 rand South African rand a month to gain access to these streams as from October. So from October, unfortunately, you will not have access to anything. Occasionally, I might do a live one for free, but you will be expected to pay the 200 Rand monthly fee to access all of these so that we actually can continue. I'm really hoping I have enough subscribers to make it viable and for me to carry on to cover the costs of producing these sessions, platform fees, etc., which are rather considerable. And we look forward to entertaining you and keeping you in touch with the musical developments as I have them and as my program continues on a monthly basis. Look forward to seeing you then. Thank you for joining me tonight. Look forward to seeing you next month in October. Look after yourselves and stay well. I should have planned a bit more.